Now there's a lot of action happening in the world of Hero MotoCorp as they're busy establishing a new X range of motorcycles. It started with the Xtreme 200R, which we tested here at Buddh International Circuit. Then there's also the X-Pulse 200 and the X-Pulse 200T. But today we're going to talk about the Xtreme 200S here at Buddh International Circuit. So let's get to it. Let's start with the way it looks. There are several subtle changes and one big one. The subtle changes are the likes of that side panel, which now has a carbon fiber style finish. The alloys have a red stripe on them. The rear panel is now body colored as opposed to the all black panels in the 200R. Exhaust is also different and it looks better. The big change is at the front, which is the all new fairing. Now I have to be honest, at first I wasn't really sure about the styling, but the design grew on me and it did so quickly. And I have to say that this is a rather pretty looking motorcycle. The design is a bit unconventional because it seems like the older bikes from the 90s thanks to the headlamp design. The dark tinted fly screen and the headlamp bezel add some character too. And overall the motorcycle looks proportionate and not front heavy, something that fair versions of street naked motorcycles tend to look like. All in all, full marks to Hero for getting the design of the Xtreme 200S bang on. In terms of features, the 200S gets a new instrument cluster which feels a lot more up to date and also incorporates turn-by-turn navigation, which can be used through an app from your smartphone which connects to the motorcycle via Bluetooth. Lastly, the S also gets one more tooth in the rear sprocket, and thanks to the added bodywork, the curb weight has gone up by 1 kilo. And well, that's about it. Everything else is identical to the Xtreme 200R, and that's not a bad thing at all. It continues to be powered by the same engine that makes 18.4 PS of power and 17.1 Nm of torque. That comes with a 5-speed transmission, and the rear monoshock is 7-stage preload adjustable. All of these things come together to make for an extremely playful motorcycle that is fun to throw around corners and makes for an enjoyable spirited riding experience. The bike feels stable through corners and can take on whatever you throw at it. It will feel pliant even when the foot pegs are scraping. Don't get us wrong though, it is not a sports motorcycle but rather a sporty commuter. However, the only thing that works against it is this very engine, which feels a bit underpowered, especially because the entire setup feels like it can take so much more. But this is where the biggest trump card for the Xtreme 200S comes in. Priced at just Rs 98,500, it makes it one of the best value for money sporty commuters available in the country. And let's not forget, while looks are subjective, we find it to be one of the prettiest bikes that costs less than a lakh. To sum it up, Hero have got the basics right, and it will be interesting to see how the audience responds to their comeback to the full-fledged motorcycle market.